Today we're talking about negotiating severance packages with the folks at the Higgins Firm. I recently sat down with attorney Hunter Williams to learn more. And thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
All right, so we're talking about the law and severance packages here in Tennessee. So let's talk about that. Is an employer legally required to give a severance package?
Not really, generally speaking. There's really no specific law that covers severance packages. It's basically a kind of a contractual agreement once you enter into one.
Okay.
So general basic contract principles govern, but what a severance package is when an employee has worked for an employer for generally a number of years or in a certain area, the employer, if they're going to go in a different direction, and it may not be due to the employer's performance, it may be due to something else, may offer the employee, look, here, we'll give you a certain amount of money essentially to go your separate way from us, and then there's some considerations employees may want to think about before they enter into those severance packages.
Okay, good tip there. Now you've got some tips for us on negotiating severance packages. So if the law doesn't require it, how can you negotiate it? What do folks need to know?
Well, it gets a little bit tricky because, as I always tell clients, this is something voluntary that the employer is doing for you, so it's something that the employer could take away. So you want to enter into these things with that in mind, but also know that you don't have to accept the first offer that's given to you. And even if you're not given an offer, you can still always say, you know, is there a possibility of a severance package? But what I generally tell people is, take the time to look over the agreement, make sure you understand what's in the agreement, because most of the time you're waiving some rights. And if you're waiving those rights, you want to know what rights you're waiving, what the value of those rights are. And don't just blindly go in and sign something. We're happy to take a look at those things for you. That's what we do, so give us a call.
All right. Now, are there any key considerations, things we need to think about when negotiating a severance package?
Yes, a lot of employees are mostly concerned about the money. How much money are they going to give me? And it used to be kind of a rule of thumb loosely. If you work there so many years, you get 2 weeks per year. Right. The economy the way it is, that rule of thumb is unfortunately kind of out the window, and you are a little bit at the mercy of what they're willing to give you. But there are things that are maybe more important. Let's say you've worked in a certain area for a number of years. You want to continue to work in that area. You want to make sure you're not being restricted in what you can do. So you want to make sure that you've got all those sorts of restrictive covenants, you've considered what that means. And you want to look also at benefits. Are they going to pay part of your health insurance? What about your stock options? Things like that you need to consider.
All right, all good things to think about. And thanks so much.
Thank you.
The Higgins Firm is serving Tennessee. Give them a call at 615-353-0930, or for more info, check out higginsfirm.com.